Welcome. This is a reading of As a Man Thinketh, Chapter 1, Thought and Character, written by James Allen and read by Aurelia Sophie. Please check out my other videos where I break down this classic text and make it more manageable and more relatable to our lives. Thought and Character. The aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, that only embraces the whole of a man's being, but is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. As the plant springs from and could not be without the seed, so every act of man springs from the hidden seeds of thought and could not have appeared without them. This applies equally to those acts called spontaneous and unpremeditated, as to those which are deliberately executed. Act is the blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus does a man garner in the sweet and bitter fruitage of his own husbandry. Thought in the mind hath made us what we are. By thought was wrought and built. If a man's mind hath evil thoughts, pain comes on him, as comes the wheel the ox behind. If one endure in purity of thought, joy follows him, as his own shadow sure. Man is a growth by law, and not a creation by artifice. And the cause and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. A noble and godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking, the effect of a long-cherished association with godlike thoughts. An ignoble and bestial character, by the same process, is the result of continued harboring of groveling thoughts. All the beautiful truths pertaining to the soul which have been restored and brought to light in this age, none is more gladdening or fruitful of divine promise and confidence than this, that man is the master of thought, the molder of character, and the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of his own thoughts, man holds the key to every situation and contains within himself that transforming and regenerative agency by which he may make himself what he wills. Man is always the master, even in his weaker and most abandoned state, but in his weakness and degradation, he is the foolish master who misgoverns his household. When he begins to reflect upon his condition and to search diligently for the law upon which his being is established, he then becomes the wise master, directing his energies with intelligence and fashioning his thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and man can only thus become by discovering within himself the laws of thought, which discovery is totally a matter of application, self-analysis, and experience. Only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man can find every truth connected with his being if he will dig deep into the mine of his soul, and that he is the maker of his character, the molder of his life, and the builder of his destiny, he may unerringly prove if he will watch, control, and alter his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, upon life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing his every experience, even to the most trivial, everyday occurrence, as a means of obtaining that knowledge of himself, which is understanding, wisdom, and power. In this direction, as in no other, is the law absolute. But he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. For only by patience, practice, and ceaseless importunity can a man enter the door of the temple of knowledge. So here's an exercise I have for you. First, you should be listening to this. Listen to it again and again and again. Let these words really sink in. I have some breakdowns where I go through it in smaller chunks to really get a depth of understanding. But at the end of this chapter, he gives us this important advice or command, you may call it. He says this: it is only through patience, practice, and ceaseless importunity, just persistence, like persist to the point of being annoying, persist, draw these connections between your thought and your life and your circumstances and your current environment and your past environment. Only through patience, practice, and this persistence can man enter the door of the temple of knowledge. Doesn't matter how trivial, look at everything, observe, build your awareness, raise your consciousness to what you're thinking, raise your consciousness to how things are being created around you. So this is the task, okay? This is the task. Get serious, because if you get serious about this and you really do it, then you can have literally anything you want, literally anything you want. This is exercise is not something to be dismissed or taken lightly. This you need to sit down, be persistent, and start to notice every single thing. Look around you. Why is this in your life? Why is that in your life? Trace it back to those thoughts, the seeds. Go backwards, connecting the dots backwards. Why should you do this? Because then you'll start, once you truly understand how things are happening in your life, then you can build trust in the system and use it to make anything you want. So do it. And check out my other videos I have where I break down the text. I take much smaller chunks and really dig in and give greater, bigger perspective and understanding to it. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.